Every day, we all get a new chance to grow and become better. But sometimes we feel stuck and do the same things again and again. We want to reach our dreams, and we want to improve our lives, but we don't always know how to start or what to do next. Life is busy and full of distractions, and because of that, we forget to focus on the things that really matter. That's why it is very important to choose some small parts of your life and work on them every day. These small parts are not just boring habits. These are powerful things that, if you do them daily, can help you change your thinking, work better, and stay strong when things are hard. These things will help you become a better version of yourself. Asterisk. Now let's talk about one very important thing that stops many people from growing. That thing is called a limiting belief. A limiting belief is something you believe in your mind that tells you that you cannot do something or that you are not good enough. Some days you feel great and everything feels right. But on other days, you feel like something is pulling you down. You may feel like something is stopping you from going forward in life. This something is not always a real thing. It's a belief that lives in your mind, and it can be very strong, even though you cannot see it. These beliefs are often not true, but because we think about them again and again, we start to believe they are real. Maybe when you were a child, someone told you that you couldn't do something. Maybe you failed at something before, and you now think you will fail every time. These small thoughts become big beliefs, and these beliefs start to control how you live. But the truth is, you can change those beliefs. You are not born with them. You learned them, and that means you can also unlearn them. One very common belief is this: I am not good enough. Many people think this in different ways. But what does good enough really mean? There is no rule that says, if you do this much, then you are good enough. Every person learns, grows, and changes with time. Maybe the first time you did something, it was hard. You didn't do well. But later, after some practice, you did better. This means you were not bad. You were just learning. So, if you keep practicing and keep trying, you will improve. You just need more time and more experience. Another belief that many people have is I don't deserve success, or I don't deserve happiness. This belief is also not true. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has failed at some point. But your past does not decide your future. What matters is what you choose to do now. You can start again. You can learn new things. You can become the person you want to be. But first, you must stop believing these negative thoughts. To change your limiting beliefs, you must first notice them. Start watching what you say to yourself when life gets hard. If something goes wrong, do you say, I am just not good enough, or this is not for me? If yes, that is a sign of a limiting belief. You should also look at patterns. If you try something many times and always stop, maybe it's not the problem. Maybe it's your belief that you can't do it. After you see these beliefs, ask yourself, is this belief true? Think about your past. Were there times when you managed something well? Maybe you saved money. Maybe you made a good decision. Those things show that you can succeed, even if it was just one time. Use those memories to fight the bad beliefs. Then, you should start changing the way you talk to yourself. For example, don't say, I'm bad at money. Say instead, I am still learning how to manage money, but I can get better every day. This change in words can change your thinking. The best way to remove a limiting belief is to take action. If you think you can't do something, just take a small step anyway. Read a book, talk to someone, join a course, do something that brings you closer to your goal. When you take action, even if you are afraid, you start building confidence. Slowly, the old belief becomes weaker, and the new belief becomes stronger. Remember, every small action you take proves that you are not your belief. You are stronger than that. You are the person who is learning, growing, and becoming better every single day. So keep going. Believe that you can change, because you can. Chapter 2: The Brain and Creativity. Many people think that being creative is something very special, and only a few people in the world are born with it. But the truth is very different. Creativity is not magic, and it is not something that only a few lucky people can have. Creativity is something that lives inside everyone, and it is something you can grow like a plant if you take care of it and give it time every day. You do not need to wait for a big idea or a special moment. You can create the right conditions, and your brain will slowly begin to give you more creative ideas. Your brain is an amazing part of your body. It can learn new things, it can connect different thoughts, and it can create new ideas by mixing what you already know. When your brain does something creative, it is not by chance. It happens because your brain is doing a lot of work silently, in the background. Every time you try to solve a problem in a new way or think about something differently, your brain is making new connections. This process is called neuroplasticity, which means your brain can change and grow when you use it again and again in different ways. Creativity does not happen like a light bulb suddenly turning on. It usually happens when you are relaxed, calm, and your mind is allowed to wander freely. When your brain is not focused on one hard task, it starts playing with ideas quietly. For example, many people get creative ideas when they are walking, alone, sitting quietly, or even taking a shower. This is because their mind is not stressed or busy, and the brain is free to mix ideas and memories in new ways. One part of the brain, called the default mode network, becomes active when you are not focused on anything specific. This part of the brain helps you daydream, imagine, and think about different things. When this part is active, your brain is still working, even if you are just sitting or lying down. So, sometimes not doing anything and just thinking quietly is actually a very powerful way to become more creative. Another important part of creativity is taking risks and not being afraid to fail. Many people stop being creative because they are scared. They worry that their ideas are not good, or that people will laugh at them. But creativity grows stronger when you allow yourself to make mistakes. Every time you try something and it doesn't work, you learn something new. And with every failure, you get one step closer to the right idea. So remember, if you want to be more creative, you must not be afraid of making mistakes. Mistakes are a natural and important part of learning and creating. You should welcome them, not run away from them. Even if you fail many times, you are still learning and moving forward. One great way to help your creativity grow is by changing the way you think. If you believe that only some people are creative, your mind will stay closed. But if you believe that creativity is a skill anyone can learn, then your mind will open up. Try asking new questions, not just looking for the right answer. Be curious. Try to discover things, not just finish tasks. This small change in how you think can help your brain find new ideas more easily. Many people believe they must wait for inspiration to begin working, but that belief is not true. You do not need a perfect idea to start. You just need to start. Take a small step. Even if your first idea is not great, it will help you build momentum. Once you start, your brain will begin to give you more ideas. This is why starting is the most important part. After you begin, everything else becomes easier. Creativity also grows when you do creative things often, just like you build muscles. By exercising every day, you can build your creativity by practicing it every day. Even if you are not in the mood, do something small. Draw, write, think, explore, anything that lets your mind create. The more often you do this, the stronger your creativity becomes. Another way to grow your creativity is by feeding your brain with new things. Read new books, visit new places, talk to people with different ideas, try new hobbies. The more new things your brain experiences, the more materials it has to create new connections and new ideas. Creativity is like a puzzle, and the more puzzle pieces you collect, the more amazing pictures your brain can make. Sometimes, when we have too many choices or too much freedom, it actually becomes hard to be creative. But when we have small limits or small rules, our brain works harder to find solutions. This is why doing a creative activity with a small challenge, like using only a few colors or a few words, can actually help you think better. Limits can sometimes make you more creative. Working with other people is also a very good way to grow your creativity. When you share your ideas and listen to other people's ideas, your mind learns to see things in new ways. This is called collaboration. It helps you grow, and sometimes the best ideas come when people think together in the end. The most important thing to remember is this: you must trust the creative process. You must stop worrying about being perfect. You do not need a perfect idea. You only need to begin. Allow yourself to try, to fail, to learn, and to grow. With each step, you will become more creative and more confident. Creativity is not only for artists or musicians. You can be creative in your job, in your home, in your relationships, and in your thinking. Being creative means thinking differently, solving problems in new ways, and seeing the world with a fresh mind. You have this power inside you already. You just need to start using it. So today, give yourself a chance. Try something new. Think in a new way. Do not be afraid of mistakes. The more you try, the more creative you will become. And very soon, you will see that creativity is not something special that other people have. It is something you already had inside you all along. Chapter 3: Breaking Old Patterns and Choosing to Grow. Sometimes, we know that something in our life needs to change, but even when we know it is important, we still feel scared or uncomfortable to make that change. Change can feel hard. Change can feel scary. It feels like standing at the edge of a high place, and you believe that if you jump, maybe you can fly, but still, you are afraid because you don't know what will happen next. Most people in the world choose to stay where they are because it feels safe and known. They keep doing the same things every day because they already know what will happen. They follow the same routines because they feel comfortable. But here is something very important. when we do the same things again and again, and we don't challenge ourselves. We stop growing. We stop improving. We stay the same, and we don't move forward. The world around us is changing all the time. Things change fast. We will miss the beautiful future that is waiting for us. Growth does not happen inside your comfort zone. Growth happens when you step outside your comfort and try something new. When we talk about breaking the status quo, it means we stop accepting things just because that's how they have always been. It means we question the way we live. We stop saying, this is just how life is. Instead, we say, can life be better? Can I do things differently? Change takes courage. You have to be brave. You have to be ready to feel a little uncomfortable. It's easier to stay the same. It's easier to follow the crowd. But when you stay where you are, just because it's safe, you stop yourself from discovering your full power. When you look at history, you will see that the people who made the biggest impact in the world were people who refused to accept the old way. They chose a different path. They faced challenges. They made mistakes. But they believed that life could be better. People like Thomas Edison, Albert Einstein, or Steve Jobs, they did not follow the crowd. They followed their dreams, and they kept going, even when it was hard. You can do the same in your own life. Breaking the status quo does not mean that you have to do something big that changes the whole world. It can be something small that changes your own world. Choose to be better than yesterday. When you take one small step toward your dream, you are already breaking the old pattern. Think about the habits you have now. Maybe you avoid hard work. Maybe you stay in a job that makes you unhappy. Maybe you keep doing the same things, even though you know they are not good for your future. All of these are ways the old system holds you back, and now it is time to break those patterns. Start by asking yourself simple questions. Is there a better way to do this? Am I living the life I really want? Maybe you wake up 1 hour earlier and work on your goal. Maybe you say no to things that waste your time. Maybe you stop listening to people who bring you down. But remember, to make real change, you need to change your mindset. Many people believe they cannot grow or they cannot succeed. They say, this is just who I am. I can't change. But this is not true. They are only in your mind. You have the power to break those limits by thinking in a new way. Action is the best way to break the status quo. Even if it is a small action, it matters. When you take action, your life starts to move. When you do nothing, your life stays still. Think about a time when you felt stuck. Then think about what happened when you finally made a decision or took a step. Everything started to change, right? That's because action creates momentum, and momentum helps you keep going. Taking action also means you take full responsibility for your life. You don't wait for someone else to help you. You don't wait for the perfect moment. You say to yourself, I will start now. I will create the life I want. Also, you must be ready to face problems and failures. Changing your life is not easy. You may fall, you may feel tired, but don't give up. Resilience means you keep going, even when things don't work out the way you hoped. Look around at the people in your life. Do they help you grow, or do they keep you stuck? The people you spend time with have a strong effect on your mindset. These people will help you break free from old patterns. When you choose to change your life, you also give other people the courage to change their lives too. Your strength becomes their strength. you become an example. Think about the people who inspire you. They were not perfect. They were just brave enough to try something different. You can be that person too. So, when you stop following old patterns, new doors open. You start to see new ideas, new opportunities, and new chances. You begin to dream bigger. You begin to believe in yourself more. It's not just about making change. It's about becoming someone who is not afraid of change. The most powerful thing that can help you break the status quo is your mindset. Believe that change is good. Believe that challenges are your chance to grow. Believe that you are stronger than the fears inside you. When you decide to stop living the same way, world, that it's possible to live a better, more meaningful life. So, take the first step today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. Your life can be better. You just have to be brave enough to begin. Chapter 4. Changing the way your inner mind thinks. Inside all of us, there is a small voice that talks to us. This voice is not loud, but we hear it every day. Sometimes, this voice tells us things like, "You can't do this," or "You are not good enough," or "This is too hard for you." These thoughts come from deep inside our mind, and they can control how we feel and how we live. Mind. This part of the mind is not the one you use when you think or make decisions. It works quietly in the background. It stores your old memories, your past experiences, your emotions, and your deep beliefs. These are the beliefs you have learned from life, sometimes from your family, sometimes from school, and sometimes from bad things that happened to you in the past. But here is something very important to remember. They are just old stories that you keep telling yourself over and over again. And the good news is, you can change those stories. You can teach your subconscious mind to think new, better thoughts. This is called reprogramming your mind, and it is one of the most powerful things you can do in your life. Let's say, for example, that you failed at something before, maybe a job interview or a test. Your mind may start believing, "I am not smart," or "I will always fail." But that belief is not the truth. It's just one small moment from your past. The problem is, if you keep believing it, it becomes part of how you see yourself. You may stop trying, or you may feel scared to do anything new. That's how the subconscious mind controls us, quietly and slowly. So how can we change it? The first step is to notice the old stories. Listen to your thoughts. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? Do you think you are not talented, not strong enough, not worthy of love or success? When you hear these thoughts, stop and say to yourself, "This is just an old belief. I do not have to believe it anymore." The next step is to create new, strong, and positive beliefs. These are called affirmations. An affirmation is a sentence that you say to yourself again and again until your mind starts to believe it. For example, if you always think, "I'm not good enough," start saying, "I am learning and improving every day." If you believe, "I always fail," start saying, "Every mistake is helping me grow stronger." At first, it might feel strange or even fake, but if you say these positive sentences every day, in the morning, before sleeping, or during your free time, your subconscious mind will start to accept them. And slowly, your actions will also begin to change. Another powerful way to change your inner thoughts is something called visualization. This means you close your eyes and imagine yourself doing something great. You can see yourself getting your dream job, speaking with confidence, or achieving your goal. Your brain does not know the difference between what is real and what you imagine. So when you visualize something again and again, your brain starts believing that it's possible. So every day, take a few quiet minutes, close your eyes, breathe. Slowly, picture yourself doing what you dream about. See the details in your mind. Feel happy, feel proud. This will help you build new belief patterns inside your subconscious mind. But sometimes, when you start doing these new things, your mind will fight back. You might feel scared or doubtful. Your mind may say, "This is not who I am," or "I can't do this." But that is your old belief trying to come back. It doesn't want to change. It feels safe in the old story. But you must stay strong and tell your mind, "I am changing now. I am growing. I am not my old thoughts anymore." This change will not happen in one day. It takes time. It takes practice. Every time you say a positive sentence, or every time you imagine success, or every time you stop a negative thought, you are training your mind. Just like you train your body to get stronger, you are now training your mind to think better. You can also try meditation to help reprogram your mind. It helps you see your thoughts without reacting to them. It helps you stay calm. When you meditate every day, even for 5 minutes, you become more aware of your inner voice, and you can gently change it with time. Another method is called self-hypnosis. This is a deep relaxation where you talk to yourself in a peaceful way. You can use recordings or gentle music. When you are very calm, your mind becomes more open to new suggestions. That's when you can say your affirmations or visualize your goals, and your mind will accept them more easily. The most important part of this journey is taking action. Your brain believes what you do, not just what you say. So, after you say positive things, you must also do positive things. Even small actions are powerful. If you say, "I am confident," then try to speak a little louder or walk a little taller. If you say, "I am strong," then try something that makes you feel brave. These actions prove to your brain that you are becoming the new person you talk about. Also, try to stay around people and things that support your growth. Listen to helpful podcasts, read inspiring books, talk to positive people who believe in you. These things help your new beliefs grow faster, like sunshine helps a flower grow. Changing your inner mind does not mean you become a new person. It means you remove the old blocks that were holding you back. It means you let go of fear, self-doubt, and past pain, and start believing in your true self. You already have great potential. You just need to let it come out. If you stay consistent, if you keep practicing, if you keep going even when it feels slow, your inner mind will change. Your thoughts will become more kind. Your actions will become more strong. Your life will become more beautiful. So, start today. Say one positive sentence. Imagine one happy moment. Take one small step. You are not your past. You are the person who chooses to grow every single day. Chapter 5: The Truth About Confidence. Many people in the world think that confidence is something you are born with, like a gift. They believe that some people are lucky and have confidence, and others are not lucky and can never have it. Some people think that confidence is only for people who are rich, popular, beautiful, or very smart. But the truth is, confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you can build step by step. Confidence is just like any other skill. You are not born knowing how to walk or ride a bike. You learn it, you practice it, you fall down, you try again, and slowly you become better. Confidence is the same. You learn it with time, with effort, and with love for yourself. One big mistake that many people make is they think confidence comes from what other people say. They believe, if people like me, I will feel confident, or if someone says, I am great, I will feel proud. But the problem is, other people's words cannot build real confidence, because those words can change at any time. One day they say good things, and you feel happy. Another day they say nothing, or say something bad, and you feel sad. That kind of confidence is weak, because it is not in your hands, it is in someone else's hands. True confidence comes from inside you. It grows when you start believing that you are good enough, even if no one tells you. It grows when you trust that you can try hard things and learn from them, even if you fail at first. Real confidence is not about being perfect. It is about knowing that you are strong, that you are learning, and that you don't give up. So how do we build this real confidence from the inside? One simple but powerful way is to use affirmations. An affirmation is a kind, strong sentence that you say to yourself. These words help you remember who you are and what you are becoming. For example, you can say, I am strong. I believe in myself. I can handle hard things. I am learning and growing every day. When you say these sentences again and again, your mind begins to believe them. At first, they may sound silly or not true, but if you say them every day, especially in the morning or before sleeping, they slowly become a part of your thinking. Another way to build real confidence is by setting small goals and completing them. When you finish something, even something very small, your brain feels proud. It says, look, I did it. This gives you proof that you are capable. Maybe your goal is to read one page of a book. Maybe it's to walk for 10 minutes. Maybe it's to talk to one new person. These small wins give your brain the message, I can do this. With each small goal, you feel a little stronger. Then you try a bigger goal. You keep building, like stacking blocks one by one. Over time, your confidence grows tall like a tower because you gave yourself the chance to succeed. But we must also talk about failure. Many people think that if they fail, it means they are not confident. But this is not true. Even the most confident people in the world fail many times. The difference is, they don't stop. They don't say, I'm not good enough. They say, I'll learn from this and try again. Every time you fail and still choose to move forward, you become stronger. You show yourself that you are not weak. You are brave. You are learning. That is real confidence. You can also grow your confidence by thinking about your day. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I do well today? What was one small thing I can be proud of? What did I learn today? Even if the day was not perfect, there is always something to be proud of. Maybe you helped someone. Maybe you were kind to yourself. Maybe you didn't give up. Write it down. Think about it. These small reflections make your inner voice kinder and more supportive. It also helps to be around people who believe in you. This does not mean you need their praise all the time, but it feels good to have friends, teachers, or family members who say, I see your progress, or you are doing well. Their words can support your own belief in yourself, but remember, your own belief is always the most important now. There is something else we all do that can destroy our confidence, and that is comparing ourselves to others. When we look at other people's lives, their success, their clothes, their jobs, we start to feel small. We think they are better than me, or I will never be like them. But this kind of thinking steals your peace. It makes you forget your own journey. You must remember that everyone is different. You are not here to be like someone else. You are here to be the best version of yourself. Your path is your own. Walk it slowly, walk it proudly. Focus on how far you've come, not how far others are ahead. Confidence does not mean you are the best. Confidence means you are okay with who you are, and you are working to become better, one day at a time. So, if you want to feel more confident, here's what you can do. Say kind words to yourself every day. Set small goals and celebrate when you complete them. Learn from your mistakes instead of feeling bad about them. Stop comparing your life with others. Talk kindly to yourself, even when things go wrong. Believe that you are worthy, just as you are. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to wait for someone to tell you you're amazing. You can start now, just where you are. Confidence is already inside you. You just need to bring it out. Every step you take, every word you say to yourself, every time you choose to keep going, you are building real, strong confidence. And once you have that kind of confidence, nothing in the world can stop you. Chapter 6. Learning to believe in yourself from the inside in life. Many people are always looking outside themselves to feel good. They want someone else to say, "You are doing great," or "I'm proud of you," or "You are good enough." They believe that when other people praise them or notice them, they will feel happy, strong, and confident. But the truth is, if you always wait for others to make you feel valuable, you will never feel truly strong from the inside. When we depend too much on what other people think, we give them too much power over our feelings. If they say something nice, we feel happy. But if they ignore us or say something bad, we feel very sad or lost. Our emotions go up and down like a roller coaster, and we don't feel steady or peaceful. That's why it is so important to build something called internal validation. This means you learn how to feel good about yourself without needing someone else to tell you. You believe in your own worth, your own value, and your own progress, even if nobody else notices or says anything. This is not about being proud or selfish. It is about being kind and strong to yourself. When you build internal validation, you stop waiting for other people's approval. You don't need to ask, "Do they like me?" or "Did I do enough?" Instead, you say to yourself, "I know I am trying. I know I am learning. I know I am enough." So how can we build this powerful skill? Let's take it step by step. The first step is to practice self-compassion. This means you treat yourself like you would treat your best friend. Think about it. If your friend made a mistake, you would not shout at them or call them a failure. You would say, "It's okay, mistakes happen. You're still a good person. You can try again." Now imagine talking to yourself in the same gentle way. Many people are very hard on themselves. When they make a small mistake, they say mean things inside their head like, "I'm so stupid," or "I always mess up." But this only brings more pain. It makes it harder to try again. So start being kind to yourself. When something goes wrong, stop and say, "It's okay. I'm human. I can learn. I can try again tomorrow." This simple sentence helps you feel better and stronger right away. The second step is to reflect on your day. At the end of each day, take just a few minutes to ask yourself, what did I do well today? What was one thing I'm proud of? What did I learn? Even on a bad day, you can find something good. Maybe you smiled at someone. Maybe you finished one small task. Maybe you stayed calm when you were upset. These small wins are important. They show you that you are growing, even if it's slow. You can write these thoughts in a notebook or just say them quietly to yourself. The more you do this, the more your brain learns to notice your progress instead of only your problems. Another great way to feel proud of yourself is to keep a success journal. You can write down every little win, big or small. Maybe you drank more water today. Maybe you said something kind to yourself. Maybe you asked a question in class. These wins are all important. When you feel sad in the future, you can read your journal and remember how far you've come. The third step is to learn how to trust yourself. Many people don't feel confident because they don't believe in their own decisions. They keep asking others, "What should I do?" or "What would you choose?" But you are smart. You are capable. You can listen to your own heart and make good choices. This doesn't mean you will always be perfect, but it means you trust yourself to learn and grow, even when you make mistakes. Every time you listen to your own inner voice, you build more trust, and every time you take action, you show yourself, "I can handle this." If you make a mistake, don't hide it. Don't pretend it didn't happen. Say to yourself, "Yes, I made a mistake, but that's okay. I'm learning. I'm still proud of myself for trying." This is what strong people do. They don't need to be perfect to feel valuable. The next step is to celebrate your progress. Sometimes we forget to stop and say, "Wow, I did something good." We keep looking at what is missing or what we still have to do. But you must remember to celebrate every little success. Give yourself a smile. Clap for yourself. Say, "Well done." This helps your brain feel proud. And when you feel proud, you want to keep trying. It becomes easier to stay motivated and keep going because you are cheering for yourself. Another important reminder is this. When you validate yourself from the inside, you feel peaceful and free. You stop worrying about what others think. You stop feeling afraid of their opinions. You become strong because your confidence comes from inside your heart, not from someone else's words. This does not mean you never listen to advice or feedback, but it means that other people's words do not control how you feel about yourself. You become your own biggest supporter. Also, internal validation is not about thinking you are better than others. It is not about ego. It is about knowing that you have value just by being you. You don't need to win a prize or be perfect to feel good. You are already worthy just because you are alive and growing. When you truly believe in yourself, you stop chasing attention and you start chasing growth. You stop asking, "Do they see me?" and you start saying, "I see myself," and that is enough. So today, start building your internal validation system with these small steps. Be kind to yourself, even when you make mistakes. Notice what you did well at the end of the day. Keep a list of your wins and read it often. Trust your decisions and your voice. Celebrate every little improvement. Remember, you don't need permission to feel good about yourself. You are enough. You are doing your best. And every day, you are getting better, not because someone else said so, but because you can see it and feel it yourself. Chapter 7: Simple Body Language Tricks to Feel Confident Quickly. Sometimes, when we feel nervous or shy, we try to hide. We look down. We speak very softly. We move our hands in a nervous way. We try not to be noticed. But when we do this, we are also sending a message to our own brain. We are telling our brain, I am small. I don't feel strong. I don't believe in myself. What many people don't know is that your body and your mind are deeply connected. This means that the way you sit, stand, move, and breathe can actually change how you feel inside. So, even if you don't feel confident at first, you can use your body to help create that feeling. This is called body language, and it is a very powerful tool. You don't need to say a word. Just by changing your posture or the way you move, you can begin to feel more powerful, more sure, and more in control. Let's learn a few simple body language tricks that can help you feel confident, even if you are scared inside. The first trick is to stand tall. When you stand up straight, with your shoulders back and your chin slightly up, your brain feels stronger. This posture tells your brain, I am ready. I can handle this. Even if you feel nervous, standing tall will help you feel a little more sure. The second trick is to make eye contact. This does not mean you must stare at people. Just look at them kindly when you speak. Looking into someone's eyes shows that you are present and not afraid. If it feels hard at first, just look at the space between their eyebrows. It still feels like eye contact, but it is easier. The third trick is to smile gently. A soft, relaxed smile makes your brain feel safe and calm. When you smile, your body feels more open and peaceful. It also helps the people around you feel comfortable, and this makes your conversations smoother and kinder. The fourth trick is to breathe deeply and slowly. When we feel scared or worried, our breath becomes fast and shallow. But when you take long, slow breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, your heart rate slows down. You feel calm. You feel grounded. Deep breathing helps you think clearly and speak with more power. The fifth trick is to use your hands in a calm and open way. Don't hide them in your pockets or cross your arms too tightly. Try to let your hands rest naturally or use gentle movements when you talk. This shows you are relaxed and confident. Closed arms or nervous fingers can make you feel more tense. Inside, another body trick that works very fast is the power pose. You can try this when you are alone. Stand with your feet wide, your hands on your hips, and your chest lifted. This is called the superhero pose. Just hold this pose for 2 minutes. It might feel funny, but it really works. It helps your brain release chemicals that make you feel more confident. Even the way you walk can change your mood. When you walk with purpose, with your head up, your shoulders relaxed, and your steps strong, you start to feel more powerful inside. So, when you go somewhere important, walk like you belong there. Walk like you believe in yourself. Now, here is something very important. You do not need to feel confident before you act confident. You can start with your body, and the feelings will come later. Even actors use this trick. They change their body to play a strong character, and slowly, their mind also begins to feel strong. Remember, body language is a tool, and you can use it anytime. Before a meeting, before an interview, before talking to someone new, before starting something scary. Just change your body a little, and you will feel the change in your mind. These tricks are simple, but they are powerful. Use them again and again until they become natural. The more you practice them, the more your mind will trust you. The more you believe in your body, the more your body will help your mind. You don't need to wait for a big change. You don't need a perfect moment. You can start today, right now, wherever you are. Now that we have reached the end of this journey, it's time to remember everything we have learned. We learned how to break old beliefs that were holding us back. We learned how to use our brain in new ways to become more creative. We understood that we don't have to follow the old way of doing things. We can create a new path. We found out that we can change the way our mind works by using positive thoughts and new habits. We learned that confidence is not something you wait for, it is something you build. We discovered that we don't need approval from others. We can learn to support ourselves. And now we know that even our body can help us feel brave, strong, and full of self-belief. You are not the same person you were before. Now you have the tools, you have the knowledge, and most importantly, you have the power to grow every single day. Even if your progress feels small, even if your journey feels slow, you are still moving forward. And that is what matters most. So keep going, keep believing in yourself, keep learning, keep growing. Because every small step you take is making you better than you were yesterday. The best version of you is not far away. It is already inside you, waiting to come out. Thank you for listening. And never forget, you have everything you need to become the best version of yourself, one day at a time.